Gestating the Curious Minds involves adult themes and situations. Just a warning.
There we go. Chapter 8. The sun. Oh. You don't want me to read yet?
I like your enthusiasm.
Thanks, Gertie. How do we go for such long periods. I never know how we start this show.
We start with hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Do you want to tell the story about our horrible trip to see a beautiful wedding? Go on, get wet, get in there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this will be an abridged version.
Yeah.
So
just the highlights.
I'm usually very good with flight times.
Oh, you're going to admit this. I always try to let you off the hook by never telling people why we missed our flight.
Well, that's the thing, is that I was telling my clients, during the week, because they would all ask me, like, oh, well, how was the wedding? Because I told them all I was traveling to go back to New Jersey and go to my friend's wedding. Mm-hmm. And every one of them, when I told them that we missed our first flight, they're like, that's not like you. And I'm like, I know.
You're so good at the catheters. Why would you miss your flight?
Excuse my cough. I'm also getting over a cold. This has just been a very long week. But so we missed our first flight. I realized as we were driving to the airport that I was never prompted to check in, which I thought was weird, but I literally did not think about until right then.
Well, you did go with United because you're all about the cheap available flights.
I booked it through my credit card. Anyway.
I've been a Delta's person for years, and I love their service.
Yeah. Anyway, so we wouldn't have been able to get on the flight anyway, even if we were there at the right time, because I think you have to be checked in 3 hours before for them to keep your reservation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
wow.
In any case, as we pulled up, I went to go recheck the tickets because I was so convinced that it was one time, and it was not. It was a different time. Whatever. So we go and we rebook for another flight.
Through what airline?
Through Delta.
Oh, was it through Delta? Okay. Because other United flights were like over $1,000.
And too late.
Yeah.
So
okay.
We booked through Delta.
Yeah. All right.
And whatever. We got to the beautiful state of New Jersey. The weather was gorgeous. We didn't have enough time to nap because we were supposed to be there a couple hours earlier, but whatever.
We only wanted to nap because we're up at 5 in the morning.
I know, we were up
to make this
early.
flight. But yeah.
Well, we should have been up at 4.
Okay.
Anyway,
right, fine.
Anyway, so we get there. Whatever. We get there. It's a gorgeous wedding. The food is delicious. The band is fantastic. Mm-hmm. We have our, little celebration. Oh, no, I'm missing I'm so bad at storytelling.
Oh.
So we get through the security line.
Oh, yeah, you're forgetting the big one.
Yeah, we rebook.
This is the money shot of the story.
It really is. It's the best part of the story. Whatever. We book this new flight. We get through security. Glenn is leaning down to put his shoes back on, and the front of his pants explode.
I mean, not like a small rip. Not like a rip where it's like, oh, if you just keep your legs together. It exploded like the Predator's mouth, in 4 different directions. And it was wide, wide open. And you could see my blue underwear with my little cocksack just cupped in it, just walking around. It was nothing you could hide, except I had to take our entire suitcase and hold it at a weird angle as I walked forward with it. Oh, God, it was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. So luckily he had a pair of basketball shorts he could put on. So now we're...
Also, can I just say, on the record, I don't normally wear basketball shorts, except they're pajamas, and I actually brought pajama shorts on a trip for the first time.
Yes.
Thank God, because otherwise I'd be wearing suit pants.
We acknowledge that you are much too classy to wear any form of...
Sportswear?
Sportswear, athletic wear, athleisure. If you will.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm a leggings lady, but I respect that you're not. Anyway.
I don't know why we're together. And whenever you wear those, I just don't look at your legs. She's gorgeous. And I never look down.
Torso.
Like I scan your body from the top of your head down to your waist and stop.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing to do is like a nice sweater and leggings.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I mean, I am a t-shirt and we're so far off. It doesn't matter. So
anyway,
whatever.
so my crotch exploded. We're looking for sweatpants, and no airport has sweatpants or anything like that.
They only sell tops, and we don't need another Minnesota shirt. So whatever. We go to the bar closest to our gate.
Right.
And we have a breakfast beer because at this point we've earned it.
We're exhausted. We're totally
exhausted.
upset.
Yeah.
Though, you got to give me credit. I was trying to calm you down.
Oh, no, you were fantastic.
I was like, it's not a big deal. People miss fights all the time. This can't be a big deal. Turned out it's a big deal.
Turns out it's a really big deal when we get to the end of the story. So we go to have a beer, and we're just being silly at this point because we figure, okay, what else could go wrong, right?
This is the worst that's going to happen.
Everything that's gone wrong has already gone wrong. We're fine.
I'm sitting at a bar, airport bar, with shorts.
There are like
and my
10
black
other
socks.
people there.
Yeah.
Because we're early for the flight that we're taking. And also it's like 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
So Glenn lifts a little cheek at me because he knows that farts cheer me up.
They make you laugh. Every time I fart, you laugh.
So.
But also, I'm not the kind of person that farts loud. So I'm like, oh, I can feel some gas building up in here. I'm going to let out a little toot. She's going to have a good time. We're going to finish our beer and whatever we're eating, and then we're going to get on this flight.
He rips ass.
It was loud.
It was a loud fart.
It was deep
and
it was throaty.
Oh,
it was
throaty.
Huge. And I saw a lady across, not the bar, but the restaurant, like behind you, look up and just like shocked and offended and everything, like clutching pearls. And I looked at her and I go, I didn't know I was going to fart that loud. And then I look across the bar behind me, and there's a guy by himself, and he's smiling to himself, and he's on his phone, and he's looking down, just smiling. And I look at him, and I go, I didn't know I was going to fart that loud. Like a total idiot, trying to justify myself to these strangers.
It was so, it was cinematic. So I'm weeping. I'm crying so hard.
You were loud laughing. Like everyone knew what happened, and everyone kept looking at us because you were just like, ha, ha, ha. The whole airport could hear you.
Scream laughing. Yeah. Alternating between scream laughing and just silently squeezing out air because I'm crying so hard.
It was ridiculous. I thought that was the end of it. We got on a flight. We had the smoothest flight I've ever had in my entire life.
It was fantastic.
No bumps, no nothing. No. Didn't get all nauseous from like weird angles they're banking on. It was fantastic. Then we land. We have to get ready. We go to the wedding because we rent a car. And
the car rental was great. The hotel was great.
Wedding was mostly fine and everything except for what happened at the wedding.
Oh yeah, one of the brides. I don't know if she was an aunt or someone. Passed out, and EMS came. So while she's passed out, the band is kind of just standing there. Because they can't do anything.
Well, someone told the band to stop.
But because the bride and the groom were cutting the cake.
Oh, that's right.
So this poor woman passes out, and then once they knew EMS was on their way and she was, relatively stable, there was nothing to be done.
Yeah.
They were like, "Can we get some music going?" So the band starts playing again awkwardly.
I looked at them.
They're like, "Are you sure?"
They looked so uncomfortable. Like they're kind of like jangling their little banjos, like the ring, and no one's dancing on the dance floor.
No,
it was hilarious. And then once they got started and they were trying to get going, people are kind of like, okay, milling around, talking again, and all of a sudden all the lights from like the ambulance, the fire engine, the police. Everything shows up, so the music stops again. And then it's everyone listening to the EMS people make jokes like, well, we got to put it on a stretcher. It's the only way to get this person out of here. It's just hilarious.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
But then there were unrelated fireworks, so everyone gathered outside to look at that.
Yeah, that was kind of nice.
Yeah. But the food was delicious. The band was great.
The band was great.
We're very happy for the bride and groom.
And then we went home.
Yeah.
And the next day, you decided to take me on a tour of your home state.
I did.
So we went around to some places you've been to, that you lived at, and that kind of thing, and that was all good. And
I can dox myself because I don't live there anymore. So if you're from New Jersey, I took Glen up to Waterloo Village because I used to live in Newton. So I was like, well, it's a cute thing to look at, and really, I wanted to go to Dominic's for their chicken arrabbiata.
Right.
So if you live in northern New Jersey, if you're in Sussex County, or you're willing to make It's like 45 minutes from Dover without traffic.
Means nothing to anyone.
I'm not talking to you.
You're not talking to me. I'm not talking to you, piece of shit. To you. Be quiet over there.
I'm talking to our listeners. Dominic's Pizzeria and Restaurant on, I think it's East Clinton Street in Newton. Not only is the pizza delicious, but there's something about this chicken arrabbiata. It's like a spicy vodka sauce and this grilled chicken and the cheese and just all of it together is not something that I can get in the Midwest. So I've been dreaming of this. Like, yes, I want to go to this wedding, absolutely, which coincidentally was also in Sussex County. But I'm also, my ulterior motive, I want this chicken arrabbiata. So we go. It's the same guy running it. It was really? Crazy. It was like I never left. It was
his name?
Nuts. I don't know his name, but I know he has a brother who has another pizzeria that's, I think, further down 94 towards Pennsylvania. So they've got pizza in their blood, dude. Anyway.
So we drive around, we get some of that, we go to a certain
we're at
kind
Waterloo
of town.
Village.
Oh, Waterloo Village.
Because I just want to show them that little part of the Mars Canal where they have all of those Victorian houses and stuff.
Right.
And it's just beautiful. It was a beautiful summer day. So we're there.
And by beautiful summer day for someone from New Jersey, it's nice out and so humid that your skin is wet.
That's
your clothes
an average
are
summer
wet.
day. Yeah. That's New Jersey.
It was ridiculous.
It's coastal. It's very humid.
I thought Minnesota humid summers are the worst because people complain about it all the time. Because when we get a hot day, it's just oppressive and like wet. But my God, you're just like, well, no, this is an average summer day. I'm like, every day in the summer is like this. Like, yeah. But I remember that when I came out to visit you in the fall and the winter and stuff, it was just wet then too. Even in the freezing cold, I'm like, I'm freezing and covered in moisture.
I think that's why the winters are terrible, because even though it's pretty infrequent that it'll dip below 20 degrees in the winter, it's always wet.
Yeah, that's
it's a wet cold.
For sure. Yeah.
Anyway, unrelated. So we're walking around. This old lady drives up in her little minivan, and she goes, "Hey, I'm engaged, and I'm looking for the minister." She pulls up. She's like, "Are you the minister?" And I say, "No."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, I'm looking for someone to marry me." Well, I am ordained online.
That's true, you
so
are.
If you trust me, I will sign your marriage license. Do you have one? Did you go to the town already? And she said, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Do you have witnesses?" And she said, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, where would this happen? When would it happen? You want to do it right now?
Yeah.
Like, we could get it all together.
When she said that she's looking for an ordained minister, I kind of looked at you with my mouth open, but I didn't want to say anything out loud because I didn't want to volunteer you. And then you were looking at me and you're like, I could see your face like, I don't know.
It kind of felt like divine intervention, and it would have been a great story. Which...
Because we were under the assumption that she's got a wedding party, like, somewhere on the grounds, just waiting for the minister to show up, who might not have shown up.
Well, she was driving in circles. She was driving around to other churches.
We didn't know that till later. But at the time when she asked, we just thought, like, oh, so are they around here somewhere? And she's like, well, I want to get married. And I'm like, I guess that's a yes. But then we found out, no.
Well, she was all over the place. I couldn't really get a straight answer out of her.
Yeah.
And it just was too unclear. And... I was like, look, you want to do it right this very minute? I'm your girl. But we're flying back to Minnesota tonight. And she goes, oh, well, we could do it later in the week. And I said, we'll be in Minnesota.
I remember that, yeah. I remember thinking,
we
like,
won't
what the
be here.
She literally said she's getting on a flight tonight. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
She was on a completely different planet. She should not have been driving around. I don't know what was up with her. Anyway, she proceeds to tell us about how she doesn't feel it when she shits now, so she'll, like, reach back with a Kleenex and grab whatever's there and
But that was
out.
after a good 20 minutes of her talking to us, and we started to put piece together, like, oh, your fiancé is still back at the house.
Yeah.
Your paperwork is still back at the house.
Yeah.
You're just taking a random, Sunday?
Yeah.
And just driving around looking for any pastor anywhere instead of calling them up or sending an email or anything.
I mean, she was 80. I can kind of see how she might not really have a handle on that kind of thing.
Right. And so she also wouldn't get out of her car because she's, can't walk and stuff. And so she's having a tough time. So, like, I was trying to be nice. I, went into the church, which was wide open and empty. Like, I could have vandalized the hell out of that thing. I walked in there. I'm like, hello, anyone here? And I'm like, there's tits. Like, I could piss somewhere. No one
honor
stop
system,
me.
baby.
Yeah.
No.
And then I walked out. But Then we were walking away trying to get back to the car, and she pulled up in her car again and talked to us for like the longest time about her whole story and her fiance, who's also 80 or 90, and how he's back at the house, probably sleeping or dead, who knows what. And then, but then, yeah, also she's like, yeah, you know, sometimes I feel like even though I'm 80, I feel like I got the mind of a 20-year-old. So it's like, you don't feel as old as you really are. And I'm like, oh, sure, yeah. And then she's like, sometimes, you know, I can't feel when I take poops anymore. So sometimes when I'm driving, I'll just like reach down the back of my pants and I'll feel there's a turd there. So I'll grab it with a Kleenex because I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'll just toss it out the window.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to wash my hands.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to wash my hands. Yeah. I know. And she said that, and I was like, I'm not going to your house. I'm not doing shit. I was like, good luck. We got to go.
Yeah, we have to get the hell out of it. We're not going to go follow you back to your house in, what, Dover? I don't know, all these counties you're talking about.
She lived, I think she said, in Hapatcong.
Whatever the hell that is.
It's a, whatever. So we, whatever. We went, we got our chicken arrabbiata. We went to our other friend's house, and we all ate chicken arrabbiatas on her back deck and dangled our little feet in the pool. Played with her dogs. Yeah. And then we had to go home. Mm-hmm. So long story short, because this has gone on for way too long as it is.
Sure.
Because we missed that first flight, it canceled our second flight automatically. Yeah. They didn't email me. They didn't notify me of that when I first went to the counter and said, we missed our flight. What's our next step?
United Airlines.
No one ever said anything.
Exactly.
I'm very upset about it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, 37-minute phone call and $260 later, we were back on that flight. We made it home. So anyway, so that was our story. Yeah. And then I was sick for the rest of the week.
Yeah, then you got a really bad cold that was lasting the whole week.
And here we are. This is the reason why we do episodes so infrequently. Because stuff like this happens constantly for us. Yeah.
Day 8!
Oh, here we are. Wait, no.
Pump Corner.
Pump Corner.
The music's playing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good. So we finished all of the reunion episodes for Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, we did. It was a lot of shouting. So much shouting.
So much.
Everyone talking over each other.
Yeah.
It was the most stressful thing in the world.
And really, I don't feel like enough of Tom and Raquel being held accountable.
Yeah. Sure.
I have so many feelings. I feel like, realistically, everyone makes mistakes. And I was listening to a podcast recently where they made a very valid point that, especially at the very end of the third reunion episode, when Raquel's like, I want to come clean, and then she kind of trickle truths.
Yeah.
Where she's like, I want to tell the truth about this. And then the producer's like, but you're lying. She's like, I know it was actually like this. Yeah. And he's like, are you sure? Yeah. She's like, fine, it's like this. So the person I was listening to, she was like, she said, you know, you can clearly see in the one scene at the end where Raquel first comes off stage and she's, you know, getting out of her dress and into comfy clothes and talking to Tom, and they're kind of laughing. Mm-hmm. She's like, she is so high on the love bombing, having the love of a narcissist, which makes her feel like it's them against the world. She doesn't need anything else.
Sure.
She knows she's losing everything. She doesn't care as long as she has him. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I've been there. I get that. I can see that.
Well, sure.
But then at the very end, when Raquel is coming clean, quote unquote, and then, you know, continues to lie about stuff, like, she also has her own issues.
She's not 100% the victim or anything.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, none of this is new. When it first happens, when you first hear, like, what was it, March 8th or March 3rd?
Yeah, when
somewhere early
out.
March. Yeah. When I screamed down the stairs, Glen. I remember exactly where I was. I was leaning against the counter against the dishwasher, eating some after-work chocolate.
After-work chocolate.
Yeah, seriously.
I love you named it.
Yeah. It's a totally normal thing. That was, I think, everyone's first thought is, this is sick.
Yeah.
Who does that? Who does something like this?
Yeah.
Especially, you know, as full adults. Anyway, whatever.
Well, she almost married James, the biggest floppy Muppet. He looks inbred, he's loud, and he's annoying. He's basically not someone anyone should ever be attracted to.
No.
But he happens to be on this show, and they kept him on because he's dramatic, and he gets people watching and talking about him.
Yeah.
And then after that, everyone from Lala to everyone has used him as a way to get on the show and stay on the show.
Oh, yeah.
She almost married him.
Yeah.
Because she's so
She's desperate for love and attention.
Yeah.
She likes abusive men, clearly.
Do you think he's abusive?
James?
Yeah.
Oh,
besides like throwing drinks in people's faces?
Oh, you don't, right.
I don't know. I don't know the whole
previous
history.
season leading up to their breakup, there was some kind of suggestion that Raquel made that she got a nose job, and while it was healing, James accidentally bumped her nose while kissing her, and it caused her nose to heal improperly.
Oh.
So there's been a lot of speculation that it wasn't just a kiss where he bumped her nose. There must have been some kind of force behind it. And then recently, Kristen Doty came out and was like, I've been saying he's an abusive piece of shit for years. Is anyone going to listen to me now?
He's ugly, stupid, spazzy, and he's abusive, and people still flock to him. How?
Yes.
Why? He's a moron. I can't stand this guy.
Because he has quippy one-liners on TV. That's the thing. None of these people are people that we should look up to.
Absolutely.
That's not the point.
Absolutely.
This is a motley crew of people who started in the restaurant industry in one way or another.
Right.
You know, and we're kind of following along on their lives.
Right.
The point is not that they're good people. So anytime anyone turns around and is like, well, this person has no room to talk because of this. It's like, that doesn't invalidate it. That's not the point. That's not what's on trial.
Right.
So, all things considered, I don't think we learned anything new, especially since I'm addicted to Reddit.
Yeah.
So, all of this is stuff that I've known for months.
Sure.
Leading up to the really the only thing that was new was anything actually said. Like the T-shirt thing didn't come on when they were. I think Andy asked Tom, "Was there anyone that you'd slept with?" Besides Raquel.
Right.
And Ariana was like, me.
Yeah.
And Tom was like, oh, yeah, she kept her T-shirt on the whole time. It was so hot.
Like
and the whole place just went silent.
Yeah, that was a really amazingly shitty thing to say. She wore a T-shirt. Like, what a turd.
I don't know any woman, including myself, who hasn't, at one point or another kept her T-shirt on because she's like, you know what? Like, I just don't need to think about that today, so this is just going to stay on.
Well, that aside, random kind of just sex happening in the moment where you happen to keep part of your clothes on is kind of sexy. That's not wrong. That's not a bad thing.
That is very sexy.
Totally.
I don't think that's the kind of thing he was referring to, though.
No, he was just trying to say it sucked for him.
I think he feels like women should be his personal porn stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than their own fully idealized people.
Right.
He's a piece of shit. Raquel should not come back next season. She has a lot of mental illness issues going on.
Oh, the show will bring her back. I'm fairly certain.
Oh, they would have her back. The question is whether or not she's going to choose
to. They're going to put her in front of everyone. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But they're going to put her in front of everyone. Like, come back. We're going to double your salary. You're going to have to get in front of everyone. You're going to get shouted at a lot. And I can guarantee you give it a season or 2 seasons, and after a while, people will start siding with her.
Yes.
Just like they did with everyone else that's fucked around with everyone.
What's going to happen?
Sweet Jacks having sex with people, and those people come back in this season to be like advocates, like, yeah, I don't want you being fucked around with. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Everyone's horrible.
Yeah. I'd say Jack's never really had his full redemption, and I think he's salty about that.
Yeah, he's just been kicked off. He's been pulled on as like a side thing on that Watch What Happens Live show.
Yeah.
And he's been pulled back, and he's like really trying to present himself like, no, I'm great now kind of thing. It's like, it's not going to get you back on the show, dude.
No, because we all know you're not, and that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
I don't need you to prove to me that that's the case, because that's not why I watch you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I watch him so he'd rip his shirt off and get in a fight with someone in Las Vegas parking lot.
The cowl neck the sweater dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I want to hear Raquel spill all the beans once she's out from under Tom's thumb.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing better than the kind of gossip that comes out of that.
Yeah.
Because they'll hide things to the end.
Yep, sure.
I know I did. So when it all comes out, it is messy. Anyway, that's Pump Corner. Do you have any other?
Corner?
Do you have anything else to say?
I got no 2 cents. I was impressed that you're so burnt out by the topic that got you so excited that you shouted down the stairs like, Glen! I'm like, what, is the house on fire? And I got there like, Tom Sandoval cheated. And so after that, to see that they have like one more little 20-minute episode you were saying, that's like called like the Secrets episode or something.
Secrets Revealed.
Yeah, and you're just like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm done. I'm like, whoa, you're done. So, yeah. Okay, well, do you want to say the whole...
Yeah, welcome to Gestating the Curious Minds, where we read our journals from our teenage years at an open mic night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's pretty good. Look at you getting those little cute quips.
We're your entertainers. Oh, you're a cute quip. We're Glen and Gertie Nuzzles. Hello. Allow us to shine a light on the process of creation for the most splendiferous fiction genre, paranormal smut. So, we're at chapter 8. We're at the final chapter of this story.
We're going to read it, and then we're done, because we suck at doing this thing in a timely manner. So we'll finish this up, and we'll take a little break. We got another little show idea on our minds.
Yeah, we have another thing that we're going to come back with. If you like hearing our voices and our banter.
Which there's like 5 people that listen.
Yeah.
It's so low. Because we don't put out enough of it, like frequently enough. We don't have any followers.
Well, that's fine.
It's fine.
All right, Glenn, will you please do us the honor of reading this final chapter?
All right, here we go. Day 8. Also, I have not read this yet, so this is going to be delicious.
I finished writing it 10 minutes before we started recording.
Right, and as Gertie was typing, she's giggling to herself, and I'm like, this is going to be good. Because you got a great sense of humor. This is going to be amazing. The sun was setting, casting an ethereal glow upon the forest. Leaves and sticks lay thick upon the ground, but the ground maintained a warmth enjoyed by the creatures that lived in the outskirts of the small southern town. The twirling Lady Bar sat within the nest of serenity, unaware of the impending war that was about to take place over its ownership. Crunch, crunch, in all caps. The Hastians? Heistians? Oh, okay, sorry. Trample the dried underbrush as they made their way to their target. As previously agreed, their plan was to remove the cinder blocks under the wheels of the bar, which is conveniently a single wide trailer, and could easily be rolled down the hill and out of Tom York's jurisdiction. Smithy tingled head to toe with the anticipation of realizing her dreams. She felt a distinct pleasure in her undercarriage, the excitement turning and twisting in her guts. She had many nervous poops that morning, allowing her to wear her favorite low-rise bondage pants. Nothing could stop her now. Smithy headed the triangle formation. To her left, Charles was marching with an air of importance that he realized he could only dream of in the past. He was about to make a new name for himself. He would henceforth be known for his own prowess, his own sticky fingers, and not just for his father's ruthless business stuff. To Smithy's right, Lucretia was high-kicking her way across the ground. Her athleticism was unmatched. Her inner power radiated off her limbs like whips of lightning. Mateo straggled behind Smithy, sniffing at her heels. He hadn't left her side since their rendezvous in the parking garage. They had quickly been approaching the twirling lady from the east, allowing them to watch the sunset. Come sundown, Tom York will be distracted by the celebration of the final night of Hanukkah, Lucretia stated out loud to no one in particular. Smithy frowned. She felt as the leader that was something that she should have said out loud to no one other than exposition. I think I fucked that up again. God damn it. An eggy smell was permeating the otherwise crisp evening air. Lucretia noticed and quickly added, "Good planning, Smithy." And Smithy had not realized that what the date was at all. Actually, as she could remember the last time she looked at a calendar, and even though she knew Tom York was a rabbi, she didn't really understand what that actually entailed. She felt ashamed, and the egg scent thickened, causing Charles to gag. What the hell are you doing, motherfuckers? The aluminum door to the twirling lady bar was thrust open and slammed against the body of the trailer. The group was stunned, faced with none other than Tom York. Tom York was standing in the clearing now, his hand on his hip, the other wielding a candlestick. Lucretia, why are you not in shul? Am I saying it right?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. On this, the last night of Hanukkah, Lucretia was frozen in place, her athletic limbs reduced to rubber. She staggered forward as if she were the one wearing bondage pants, toes of her platform demonias gouging lines into the earth. The remaining three Hystilians? There's a lot of L's in there. Hystilians. Watch the shock and horror. Smithy had not realized that Tom was a man-witch. Charles, also not putting the pieces together, approached Tom with the confidence of a mediocre wealthy man and attempted to palm him a $20 bill. I love that this is his first gesture. Yeah. Just palms him $20 as a sign of, like, just stop what you're doing. Tom, disgruntled, crabbed my God Charles in the face. This is the most anti-Semitic thing I've experienced since living in this forsaken town of Gutwater. But Charles did not know what that word meant. Usually, this worked. Charles had run out of ideas and sank to his knees to wait for his death. Mateo would not stand to watch his lady love succumb to the same fate. Oh, he misted towards Tom, intent on possessing his body and perhaps tossing him into the nearby treetops or down the mountain itself. But Mateo's ghostly form met resistance against a hand-shaped amulet worn about Tom's neck. It was thus thrust backward in a cloud of mist. Smithy stood alone now. "Ye heathen orphan, trouble-seeking trollop," Tom was enraged. "Entitled to a notoriety and space without the skill to back it up. You smell like rotten eggs, and you're bad at crime." Tom was approaching Smithy now, readying his outside chop. But did you look up, like, Krav Maga? Did you?
Yeah.
An outside chop sounds really specific. What is an outside chop, since we're doing this right now?
You chop from the outside.
Oh, just like a big...
I was hoping that it would be a little more fun to add these names in, but they're all kind of stupid names.
Outside chop is a stupid name? I mean, it is.
All of the names for the Krav Maga moves, they're not fun. They're not fun.
They're not cool sounding, that's for sure.
They're not cool sounding.
Outside chop sounds like somebody from I'm Fighting You, and then like a friend from like 100 feet away comes running at you. Like, outside chop!
Well, there's an inside chop and an outside chop.
What's an inside chop?
When you chop from the inside of a grapple. And the outside chop is when you chop from outside of a grapple.
Yeah, you're right. It is pretty dumb.
It's pretty dumb.
Well, that's what you get when you have a new type of karate. Mateo was watching from afar now, unsure of how to proceed. He was no stranger to a man-witch. In fact, he had lived the suspected man-witch on this very mountain many years... Oh, you brought it back. Many years ago. And he remembered that the man-witch was no man-witch at all. In fact, he was just a sad little man who had big dreams for his lap hog. Maybe Tom York was the same. Are you referencing back to the guy with the bat in his neck?
Yes.
Nice work. Yeah. "Smithy," Mateo hissed, "use your powers." Mateo was gesturing to Smithy's tucked-away titties. Smithy, looking down the barrel out of a good old-fashioned Krav Magaing.
Krav Magaing.
Okay, was paralyzed with insecurity. She had long been running from her feelings of inadequacy, and the salt of the wound of her orphanhood burp was nearly too much to bear. She was the stinky creature, weak, impotent, ? Or could she use this pain for something more? Smithy realized the anxiety coursing through her was collecting at her nipples. Oh, they pulsed within her bra, tingling with electricity. Mateo was right. Smithy was meant for more. And now was her time to prove it. Tom York was testing some chops and strikes by himself, just chopping in the air. Nice.
Like shadow chopping.
That's awesome. I love that. While remaining quite a few feet from Smithy. He was enjoying the sensation of besting a younger woman, especially on such a holy day. You're a genius. I love you.
Love you.
Surely this was a mitzvah. He savored the crisp air as he chopped and swung his arms and legs, preparing himself for the Krav Magaing of a lifetime. You forget, little man? Smithy's voice was deeper, booming through the clearing. Tom froze, recognizing that voice of an ancient. Pride is a sin. Tom's eyes followed Smithy as she rose into the sky. She levitated on a thick cloud of sulfur, Demonia's lifting off the ground with grace. Her exposed breasts crackling with electricity. You're amazing. Her nipples glowed red and black as if they were pools of lava. You're amazing. This is so good. The sun had fully set now, and the waning crescent moon could not reach its apex for another 3 hours, leaving Smithy and Tom, in darkness, lit only by the weak light from the bar and the hot, angry glow of Smithy's breasts. Hot gusts of air were rushing Tom now, rolling off Smithy's body and assaulting his tender face with their onslaught. What are you? Tom asked feebly. I am the end. The ground beneath Smithy's feet split, and an eardrum-shattering crack, releasing hellish screams and heat. More heat than Tom had ever experienced. He lost his breath in the sulphurous fumes, eyes and nose streaming uncontrollably. Tom fell. Okay.
Did you catch that on air?
What's that?
I farted.
Did you fart?
Yeah.
No, you missed it.
Stinks.
Oh, god damn, I hate editing. This is the worst thing ever. I miss all the great stuff. Oh, you're wiping the smell from your face.
It's sticking to me.
You're a little butt monster, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a little butt monster.
So your ending both caught me off guard and is deeply satisfying. Because you and I labored over like, well, what happens? She learns her skill. She goes to hell. Does she say like, au revoir, I am to hell now? And like goes down to the ground. But instead you just ended it. Like, I won the battle. That's the end of the story. I kind of love the hell out of that. That's amazing.
When I was writing it, it just felt correct. Mm-hmm. It felt like that was it. So I didn't honestly want to overcomplicate it.
In this story, when someone buys this off of Amazon, unfortunately, we're putting it up in places where you can get it for free.
We try our best. We are literally not allowed to put it for free.
Amazon won't let you make it for free.
We cannot publish it for free.
Because we don't even want 99 cents from this.
We do not want you to spend anything on this.
Exactly.
We know how we create this.
But there is Apple Books and Barnes & Noble with the Kindle, or the Kobo, I think they call it. And there's a bunch of other options that we have that you can get it for free. But Amazon's like 99 cents every time.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad. But I think anyone reading this is not expecting a satisfying ending.
I think it's satisfying.
Like, how's the rest of the gang? Yeah, fuck the rest of the gang. It's not about them.
It's really not.
Yeah.
None of this is.
Yeah.
It's about Smithy's arc, and the rest of them, they didn't even bother to ask the whole time who Lucretia's dad is. By the time they come face to face, they don't even... that Smithy lives with Lucretia.
That's true.
And has never met Tom York.
That's true.
None of them put the pieces together that he is her father. So when he's scolding her, shouldn't you be in shul? And they're like, oh, look at the power he has over her. He's clearly a man-witch. No, he's her dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Is it that they're horrible people in the story, or is it that there's a horrible writer that wouldn't work that out?
Good question.
Which of the two is true? Did the characters take their own life and to drive the story, or did you just not want to write about it?
Good question. I think that...
I stymied you.
A little bit. So... when I think about this story, I don't care about Lucretia and Charles.
Yeah.
Outside of what they can do to further Smithy's story.
Sure.
Is that bad writing? Probably.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not a fully fleshed out world.
Yeah.
They're just kind of pushing the story forward.
Yeah.
They are not fully realized people, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So that could very well be bad writing. Do I care? No.
No, doesn't matter. This is not a book that you care about. Yeah, for sure.
Well, no, I care about this book.
I care about Mateo.
I had a lot of fun writing
at this point. Mateo, I absolutely. What is he going to do next? What's his story
I guess
arc?
we'll find out.
I know. Well, we're going to take a break for a while.
We're going to take a break, but we are absolutely going to write another one.
We've been a busy
really
couple of kids.
This.
We've been traveling the world. We've been going to New Jersey. We've had other stuff going on.
We went to France and Germany with Glen's 2 lovely children.
That's true.
That was a big one. We have friends from Germany coming in.
They're
in
coming
2
in
weeks.
not even a week.
Wow.
They're coming real soon. And they're staying here for a month.
So we're going to be busy. We're going to be running around.
Yep.
So that doesn't change the fact that I love doing this.
No,
so
it's fun.
Let's not act like I don't love doing this.
No. But we can definitely take a break because it's a lot of work, for sure. When you and I were splitting it, like doing chapter versus chapter, like each one taking a turn, it was still a lot of work. Like, it's like, I should sit down and write this kind of thing. And so we're going to take a little break from that. But we have another thing in the pipeline that we decided we're going to do that's going to be a lot easier, a lot sloppier. It's a matter of us just sitting down and yelling at each other.
It's not sloppier.
It's sloppier.
We are going to read some paranormal romance, and we are going to give relationship advice. Anyway.
Playing with the concept of we're a newly married couple that it's already falling apart. And we don't know how to keep it together. But we both love paranormal romance. We haven't even consummated
the marriage, dude.
We still haven't even had sex
yet. We don't
yet.
know how.
Yeah.
We're both virgins.
I don't know what to do with my phallus. I keep slapping it against her belly button, and she's like, I don't think that feels right. We have no idea what we're doing.
So keep an eye out for that one. We'll announce it when we have a name for it.
We're going to figure out how to have sex and have a real relationship thanks to paranormal romance.
Let's wrap up season 2. What is the name of this novel, Glenn?
We've been talking about the Hanukkah heist for a while, but never made it official. Or is it going to be something else weird?
No, I'm good with the Hanukkah heist.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good. So when we first rolled, we rolled a protagonist whose driving factor was to live a life of crime, but her fault is that she smells like wet eggs.
Well, we nailed that.
I think we nailed that.
We nailed that.
Our antagonist was the bar, and then we kind of added in Tom York and that he's a rabbi.
Yeah.
I think we nailed that.
Yeah.
Our setting, it was during Christmas time, 2021. Mm-hmm. And we looked up when Hanukkah was in 2021.
Yeah.
And that mention that I made to the crescent moon, I looked up what phase of the moon was on December 3rd, 2021. So that is specific.
As I was reading that, I thought that was very specific, but just kept moving on.
It was very specific because I put in the work, dude.
I'm sure someone 20 years from now will read this and appreciate the reference.
Potentially.
Hopefully.
I don't know.
I don't know if anyone really cares that much about literature. They should, though.
Fine literature.
Fine literature. They've nailed down the phases of the moon during this period.
The conflict and internal obsession with vintage Hot Topic clothing.
You did it.
Well, yeah, it was in there. It never came in the way. Her insecurities came in the way more than the clothing, so I could have tightened that up. But overall, I'm happy with how this story came out. Mm-hmm. Again, we did roll dice for this, so
yeah.
Here we are.
You'll work with what you have.
We work with what we have.
Yeah.
Email us. Let us know what you think.
No one's going to email.
No, and I won't read the emails.
Yeah. If I get one of those emails, I'm like, spam.
So that's it. If anyone noticed, a couple of Easter eggs in there. We have 8 chapters because Hanukkah lasts 8 days.
Yeah.
And the "What the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers" is a direct reference to My Immortal.
Oh, is it?
Iconic.
Oh, I never caught
fan
that.
fiction.
Oh,
the Harry Potter fan fiction. It was Dumbledore.
Dumbledore said that?
Yes. I don't think I have anything else to say about this story, do you?
No, I love the breast focus that you suddenly started doing halfway through the story. Like, this thing took almost a year. And then halfway through it, you're just like, boobs now. And the boobs are glowing. The nipples are doing stuff. I like how they're black and red like lava. You just really focused on the boobs.
I was playing Tears of the Kingdom earlier. And I was fighting this igneous talus, which is made of lava rock. Mm-hmm. And in order to get anywhere near it that I could get on top of it, I would have to shoot it with an ice arrow.
Oh.
So that's kind of what I was thinking of as I was writing that. If you want a little bit of inside the actor's brain. I
love it. Like, you're on a talk show. Artist, where did you get your inspiration from for the lava breast? You're like, I was playing a video game.
I was playing a video game.
I was playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Video games. It was Zelda.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. That's it. We're wrapping this thing up.
That's it. Our second book.
Our second book that we now have to publish after we do this.
I'm happy to do so. Do you want to read the entire thing at once?
No.
Okay.
That was in our first season of this. I was like, I'm going to make an audiobook of this. I'm like, nah, I don't want to. I'm done. And I'm like, maybe I should take all the parts I read and slap them all together. But that just means that you get an audiobook of me reading with you laughing in the background.
Yeah.
Which there are no audiobooks like that, where people like reading and then somebody else like, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, I know, I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Wasn't that fun? And then I keep reading. That's a really weird audiobook. And so kind of the same with this. Like, nah, whatever. We'll just put it out there.
Yeah, if anyone wants to read it, they know where to find it.
It takes a lot of work to publish a book on Kindle. So that alone is so much work. I don't want to fight with Audible and everything, trying to get it out there. That's going to be such a pain in the butt. So, nope, sucks to that. We're going to publish it. I have to come up with a cover for this.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I was lucky. I found a sexy guy, a ghostly woman's hand pinching his nipple, a ghost with sunglasses on to be Mateo, and the bat on the neck. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. What the hell kind of cover can I make for this?
Maybe like a trailer with a demon holding a menorah.
Oh my God.
I know.
That could be flagged as something, I imagine.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Once that came out of my mouth, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's got to be bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or you find some 2000s kind of the Hot Topic person holding a menorah next to the thing. I don't know.
I'm sure.
Let's figure it out. Well, okay, thanks for listening, and please check in for the next show where we try to save our marriage through the power of paranormal romance.
To be determined.
Not to be determined. It's going to save us, or you got to get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, that's not happening.
It's going to happen.
I'll burn down this house.
Okay, we're done here. Have a great night. Want to contact us? Don't. This isn't about you. But if you have to, my email is glen.nuzzles, Nuzzles, @gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter, @HouseNuzzle. But don't bother us, because we're too busy working.